Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Hazy here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a big week, packed with exciting stuff. Lots of fun books to talk about this week. Going to start with the Marvel guys, because this is Infinity Countdown #1, the next big Marvel event. Loosely related to what's going on with the movies. Not really, just sort of a not very coincidental situation. This is one of those usual everybody all-in-one book kind of thing. Gonna want to jump in on this now before #1 sells out and goes to reprint and all that good stuff. While you're at it, this is your weekly issue of the Avengers. Can't say enough about this book. Grab that reprint to $6.75. Catch up with all the reprints, since all the others are probably sold out if you haven't grabbed them already. This is another one of those everybody all-in-one book kind of books. All the other Avengers books have stopped, and now this one's weekly. And, well, you know I'm a big Avengers fan, so I'm always talking up this one. And I'm always talking up this one. This is Captain America. This has a cool Thing versus Hulk cover, which always gets money out of my wallet. Good times there. This one's skyrocketing toward the big number 700, so you're going to want to be on the lookout for that. Big X-Men week this week. Been talking about what a great time it is to be an X-Men fan. This is your latest issue of X-Men Gold. This is your second issue of X-Men Red. Still have a few copies of #1 in here if you get here fast. There's also X-Men Blue and Astonishing X-Men and all kinds of peripheral titles as usual, like Rogue and Gambit, everybody's favorite X-couple, or Iceman. This one's going to be wrapping up real soon, but it's been kind of fun, so grab what few issues there are of this series. Going to be talking about a few more other things wrapping up here real soon, but something that's not wrapping up is this guy. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 797. I hope this is already on your pull list, because if not, you're probably waiting for the reprint. Most shops are going to be sold out of this in about 20 minutes. One of the hottest books on the stands. Again, is skyrocketing toward a big anniversary issue. We'll be wrapping up Dan Slott's decade-long run on this book. A lot of talk about Amazing Spider-Man these days. Really, really fun title. And it's generally a big week for Spider-Man. This is your issue of Miles Morales, another red-hot title, another one of the biggest books Marvel has. And Venom just gets bigger all the time. Everybody's excited about the new movie that's rolling out. While I'm on the subject, this is your new issue, but I want to talk real quick about a couple copies of True Believers, like this one, Venom vs. Spider-Man, that reprints Amazing Spider-Man 300, the first appearance of Venom. It's only $1. Or this guy, Venom Symbiosis, reprints Web of Spider-Man #1, maybe a book you haven't heard of, but if you're 100 years old like me, you loved Web of Spider-Man back in the day. This one's also only $1. Marvel has done a whole mess of these True Believer $1 comics for Star Wars and for all kinds of different things, the Jean Grey stuff. It's a really, really great way to pick up some classic comics for just $1, so check those out when you're in your shop today. Rise of the Black Panther #3. Can't say enough about this guy these days. Everything Black Panther is selling out like crazy. So again, I hope this one's also on your sub list today. She-Hulk is wrapping up. This is the final issue of this run, which makes me a little sad because I'm a big Jennifer Walters fan. Hawkeye has also seen the last issue of her current run, but you'll see more of these characters in new titles very soon, I assure you. Speaking of some of the ladies of Marvel, how about the Wasp, who is going to be one of Marvel's next big movie stars, showing up in Ant-Man 2. As a big Avengers fan, I'm a long-time fan of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Looking forward to that one. And speaking of movies, Star Wars rounds out your Marvel stuff for the week. Always talking up what a great job they're doing with all their Star Wars books. Great job for the DC guys as always. Batman #42, much like Amazing Spider-Man, can't say enough about this title. Just gets bigger and bigger all the time. The big wedding issue is going to be right around the corner, so be on the lookout for that. If you're one of the 3 people that's not already following Batman, you're really missing out. You got to go all the way back to number 25 or all the way back to the beginning of Rebirth catch up on all that because it's been top notch. Batman White Knight, also top notch. Also a book that's gone to 11D reprints. If you've been missing out on that, you're going to want to grab the first issue and see what that's been all about. Nightwing and Harley Quinn, excuse me, wrap up your Bat Universe stuff. But I want to talk about a couple of Bat crossovers real quick, like Harley and Ivy teaming up with Betty and Veronica. Been talking about what an amazing job Archie's been doing with everything lately. A little more on them later. Also been talking more. Been talking a lot about all the great team-ups and crossovers that have been going on lately, like Shadow Batman. Nothing cooler than a team-up of two of the great classic characters of all time. Good stuff there. Superman. Been a lot of talk about this guy lately. If you listen to our podcast this week, I was telling you about what Brian Michael Bendis was saying about his takeover of the Superbooks right around the corner. Action 999 is next week. Action 1000 is just a few weeks away. Great stuff there. Justice League and Green Lanterns, along with Black Lightning, round out your DCU proper. But there's always more DC to talk about. Shade the Changing Woman is your Young Animals book of the week. Bombshells United and Injustice 2 are your extracurricular DC universes of the week. Exit Stage Left Snagglepuss Chronicles is one of your Hanna-Barbera books this week. Can't say enough about this title. I mean, come on, Snagglepuss. And The Jetsons is your other Hanna-Barbera book of the week, because all this Hanna-Barbera stuff has been super, super awesome. And it's just been a really, really amazing week for all the other guys. Rasputin and Kashi the Deathless are your two Hellboy-related books of the week. And I'm always talking up the Mike Mignola stuff. Incognito Renaissance is your Karen Berger books of the week. Been talking a lot about Karen Berger in our podcast and on these videos and in the newsletter. You guys definitely want to be checking out Hungry Ghosts and everything else that's coming out from her. Dr. Star is my last Dark Horse book of the week. If you're reading Black Hammer, you're going to want to get up on that. Oblivion Song is your Image book of the week. Everybody's already in line at their favorite shop for this one. You're going to want to grab an issue of that today. Walking Dead is the other biggest Image book. You're going to want to get up on that. Always saying, if you're only following this in trade paperback, catch up to the periodicals, because periodicals are always more fun. Wicked and Divine, I Hate Fairyland, East of West. Just an amazing week for Image Comics. Excuse me. But Dynamite Comics has some of my favorite stuff this week. This is the first issue of Green Hornet from Amy Chu. We met her at Emerald City Comic Con this past weekend. She was super, super cool, and she's incredibly talented. Looking forward to reading that today, along with Deja Thoris. Everybody knows I'm a big Warlord of Mars fan. Great stuff there. Frankenstein Alive Alive number 4 is your IDW book of the week, because it's from Bernie Wrightson, the all-time great legendary Bernie Wrightson. Just check that out. If you don't know what this is, grab all those other issues, catch up to this one. You have to have this title in your collection. Jughead the Hunger is my Archie book of the week. As I mentioned earlier, I've been talking a lot about all the amazing things that Archie's got going on these days. Super great stuff there. Bloodshot is your Valiant book of the week. Rick and Morty is your Oni Press book of the week. And last but not least, Strangers in Paradise, because I love Terry Moore and I love everything he's ever done, really. And if you need a little something different from the superhero stuff, you definitely want to check out some Strangers in Paradise. Really, really great week of stuff. Whew, I'm out of breath from all those great comics. So check those shipping lists, get down to your shop, pick up something super awesome. Want to mention real quick that, as you may know, we were in Emerald City Comic Con last weekend. Filled up our wall with some really, really amazing stuff, like Spider-Man 50, like Tales of Suspense 98, like Avengers 52, where Black Panther joins the Avengers. all kinds of great stuff. This whole wall is all things we picked up this past weekend. So when you're in today, check out the wall. Ask to see some of the other things that we brought back. We'll be off to WonderCon in a couple of weeks to do it all over again. So now's a really great time to get in and check out some of those Black Cat classics. So all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at Facebook, check us out at blackcatcomics.biz, check out the podcast at soundcloud.com, check out our cool YouTube channel. Just get on down here to Rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.